in Tait House, which is in North London, in Ward Road, Tufnell Park. So we are 50 metres geographically from the northern line of Tufnell Park and near to all the main central parts of London. My name is Adam Clark from BRAC Developments Limited. We are a specialist rooftop developer of existing properties in and around central London. Our background was that we are also a contracting or construction company, and we carried out various rooftop developments for clients onto existing buildings where we've extended their commercial or residential building accordingly. Airspace development is the opportunity to construct further space on top of existing buildings. So, for an example, in and around London there are many thousands of buildings that potentially could provide additional residential accommodation or commercial space, and that's an area that in recent years has started to gain ground and has been seen to benefit both freeholders and potential developers of these areas. With this particular entity, we entered into a joint venture with the freeholders of the property. So what that meant was that we didn't have to find a large capital sum to buy the facility or buy the airspace. The building is a 1970s traditional brick construction building which houses 17 flats at the moment. We are putting 3 additional penthouses on top of that block. Notwithstanding COVID, I would imagine these would be for perhaps a professional couple who work in the West End or City of London, or hopefully we'll be back there shortly, or investors as well. There are people who have got a lot of interest from people that are looking to invest, and the nature of a rooftop or penthouse is that you've got a lot of air, light, you've got a lot of natural daylight, you've got a lot of natural air as well with the balconies. So I think that's an attraction to investors or couples alike. It's been a long year for builders and developers and construction industry throughout. I think it's brought up unique challenges that we've never experienced before. Site logistics, site welfare. Then it's led on to the supply chain has been a big issue, making sure that materials can come in from abroad, then distribution of those materials. So it's been a challenging time for the industry as a whole, but on a positive, I think we've worked our way through it. We've got new working practices with health and safety and etiquette on site, and I think we will come out the back of it in a better shape. When COVID first broke, I think there was a big problem, or a lot of problem with traditional materials like plasterboard and plaster. Believe it or not, they were in short supply, so getting the supply chain through for fairly day-to-day materials was a real challenge. So much so that with the large suppliers, CCF, Travis Perkins, etc., we were pre-ordering 4, 6, 8 weeks in advance to secure the stock delivery, basically. Each building for rooftop development or airspace development has to be looked at on its own merits. There's been a lot of discussion for modular construction over the years, but what we're finding with buildings in London, they tend not to be of a very uniform structure. So we looked quite extensively into finding a solution where we could combine modern methods of construction coupled with the quirky shape and nature of buildings in and around London. So what we did on this particular project, we looked at having all the walls, the ceilings and the roofs pre-formed in a factory off-site and assembled and then brought to site and simply bolted together on site. The reason we looked at using that method as opposed to traditional timber and posts or steel was that it enabled us to install quickly on site. I think this entire development was installed within 8 days flat of arriving on site. Obviously there's a lot of design in the background and preparation, but 8 days from start to finish to install floors, walls and roofs was quite phenomenal. Everything that goes into the building has to be considered from source. The processes that, the sustainability of all materials that are supplied, so that goes without question. With the mild steel as well, we found that that's inherently more sustainable, the light gauge steel that we've used for the walls as well, so we will certainly carry on adopting that method where we can. We are going to put underfloor heating throughout the entire properties. The shower rooms or bathrooms will be wet room, so they will be underfloor heated as well. and that will be on an app, so that can be controlled by the tenants remotely as well. I think with BRAC, what we did, we entered into a joint venture with the freeholders, who happen to be the tenants as well. So what that means is that basically we are in partnership with the people that own the building, which I think gives quite a lot of comfort, because we are the builder, developer and partner, so we're the custodians effectively of their building. So the leaseholders basically form part of that committee, or part of that joint development. So it's taken time, but we have quite a close working relationship with the leaseholders in the property.